Welcome back to USA Coins 1. Today, we are going to dive into the fascinating story of the 1980 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may look like just another small copper coin, but hidden within its history, minting variations, and rare errors, lies the possibility of a fortune. Some rare examples of this coin have been reported to sell for thousands of dollars, and in extraordinary cases, collectors estimate their value at a staggering $878,079. So sit back, because in this video we are going to explore the history, design, mintage, rarity, and the exciting current market value of the 1980 Lincoln penny. The beginning of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has a legendary place in American coinage. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure like Liberty. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and his initials VDB appear on some early issues. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has gone through many changes, and by 1980, it was already one of the most recognized coins in circulation. The historical background of 1980. The year 1980 was an important time in U.S. history. The economy faced inflation, precious metal prices were changing rapidly, and the demand for coins was high. Pennies were still made of a 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy, which means each one actually contained real copper value. This makes the 1980 Lincoln cent not only a collectible but also a coin tied to the story of America's economic struggles of the late 20th century. Design of the 1980 penny. On the obverse, or front side, of the 1980 penny, we see the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. Above him is the motto "In God We Trust." To the left is the word Liberty, and to the right is the date 1980, with a small mint mark below it depending on where it was struck. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. Look closely, and you can see the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, making this one of the most detailed reverses in U.S. coinage history. Mint locations and production. The 1980 penny was produced in huge numbers across three major mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia pennies carry no mint mark, Denver pennies have a D, and San Francisco struck proof coins marked with an S. Philadelphia minted over 7 billion pennies, Denver produced more than 5 billion, and San Francisco added millions of proof coins for collectors. With so many made, most 1980 pennies are common, but it is the rare errors and pristine conditions that turn ordinary cents into treasures worth thousands. Why some 1980 pennies are valuable. Not every penny from 1980 will make you rich. Most are still worth just 1 cent, maybe a few cents if circulated. But what sets certain coins apart is rarity, error types, and condition. A flawless penny graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC in MS-67 or higher can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars. And if you have a unique mint error, like a double die, off-center strike, or missing letters, that is when the value can skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands. Rare errors to look for. Collectors love errors, and the 1980 Lincoln cent has some incredible varieties. One of the most famous is the double die obverse, where the date and lettering show doubling under magnification. Another sought-after error is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing because the coin was not centered properly during minting. There are also broad strike pennies, clipped planchets, and coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. Each of these errors can make your 1980 penny worth a lot of money. The value of proof coins. San Francisco produced proof pennies in 1980, specially struck with mirror-like surfaces for collectors. These coins, when kept in their original condition, can fetch much higher prices than regular circulation coins. A perfect PR 70 deep cameo proof from 1980 has sold for hundreds of dollars at auctions. If you have a proof penny in your collection, don't underestimate it. It could be worth far more than pocket change. Condition and grading importance. The condition of your 1980 penny is one of the biggest factors in determining its value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor. A circulated penny with scratches and wear is usually worth face value, but an uncirculated coin with bright red luster can be worth hundreds. High-grade 1980 pennies certified by grading companies have been sold at record prices, making coin grading an essential step for serious collectors. Record auction sales. Some of the rarest 1980 pennies have shocked collectors at auctions. A high-grade 1980 penny in nearly perfect condition sold for thousands of dollars. Error coins with dramatic mistakes have reached even higher values. The most unbelievable reports suggest that in the rarest cases, unique error examples have been estimated at up to $878,079, showing just how much money a small copper coin can bring when rarity meets collector demand. One interesting thing about the 1980 penny is its metal content. Because it was made before 1982, it is mostly copper. Each penny contains about 2.5 grams of copper. With copper prices rising over the years, even the melt value of these coins can be more than 1 cent. Although it is illegal to melt pennies for their metal, the copper content adds another layer of interest for collectors and investors. How to check your pennies? If you are wondering whether you might own a valuable 1980 penny, start by checking the mint mark and condition. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling on the date or lettering. Weigh your coin to confirm the copper composition. If you see off-center designs, clipped edges, or unusual shapes, you may have a mint error worth hundreds or even thousands. Sending your coin to a professional grading service can help verify its value and attract serious buyers. Current market trends today, coin collectors and investors are paying strong prices for high-grade and error 1980 Lincoln cents. Online marketplaces, coin shows, and auctions show steady demand. A regular circulated penny may only bring a few cents, but gem uncirculated and rare varieties are hot items, with some selling for thousands of dollars. The current market value for the rarest examples is reported at $878,079, making this one of the most exciting years for collectors to explore. Why collectors love the 1980 penny? The 1980 penny is special because it represents the last full years of the copper Lincoln cent before the big change to copper-plated zinc in 1982. This makes it a favorite among collectors who love the classic heavy feel of copper coins. Combine that with the possibility of rare errors, high grades, and proof examples, and you have a coin that is not just history, but also a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered in someone's pocket or old coin jar. Conclusion and final thoughts. So there you have it, the full story of the 1980 Lincoln penny. A coin that millions of people spent without a second thought, yet in the right condition, with the right error, it can be worth thousands and even up to $878,079. If you have a 1980 penny, don't dismiss it as just spare change. Check its details, consider its grade, and you might be holding a fortune. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where we bring you the stories, values, and hidden wealth of America's coins. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because your next coin could be worth a lot of money. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1981 Lincoln cent, one of the last great copper pennies of the United States. Many collectors overlook this coin, but what if I told you that some of these 1981 pennies are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, even up to $878,078 in today's rare coin market? This is not just a simple penny, it is a piece of history, a collector's dream, and in some cases, a life-changing discovery. The historical background: the Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and became the first American coin to feature a real person instead of symbolic designs. By the time 1981 rolled around, the Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for more than 70 years, and the U.S. Mint was preparing for a major change, the switch from mostly copper cents to zinc-based cents in 1982. That makes the 1981 Lincoln cent one of the last full copper issues, forever locking it into a special place in American coinage history. The copper composition: the 1981 Lincoln cent was struck in 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin, weighing about 3.11 grams. This composition had been used for decades, but rising copper prices made it more expensive for the U.S. Mint to continue production. In fact, by the early 1980s, the metal inside each penny was worth almost as much as the face value. This forced the Mint to take action, leading to the 1982 transition where pennies became mostly zinc with a thin copper plating. Collectors today view the 1981 issue as the end of an era for true copper pennies. The design features on the obverse, or front of the coin, you'll see the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The word Liberty stands to the left, the year 1981 to the right, and above Lincoln's head, the national motto "In God We Trust." On the reverse, you find the striking image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., designed by Frank Gasparo. The design was first introduced in 1959, replacing the wheat ears reverse. A fun detail: if you look closely at the memorial on a sharp strike, you can actually see the tiny figure of Lincoln sitting inside, a miniature within a miniature. The mint marks. The 1981 Lincoln cent was produced in huge numbers across different mints. The Philadelphia Mint produced coins with no mint mark, the Denver Mint used the D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins with the S mint mark. Each mint produced millions, but not all 1981 pennies are created equal. Tiny differences in strike quality, errors, and varieties can make some of these coins worth a fortune today. The proof coins. One of the most important aspects of the 1981 Lincoln cent is its proof coinage. Proof coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint with the S mint mark, but 1981 is famous because it had two different proof varieties, Type 1 and Type 2. Type 1 proofs feature a filled, blurry S mint mark, while Type 2 proofs show a sharp, clear S mint mark. Collectors pay big premiums for high-grade Type 2 proofs, making them some of the most valuable 1981 cents in existence. The error coins are where things get truly exciting. In 1981, errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, and misaligned dies were produced. A dramatic double die obverse or reverse can turn a penny worth just 1 cent into one worth thousands of dollars. Some 1981 error pennies have been auctioned for tens of thousands of dollars because of their rarity and demand among collectors. The condition factor: as with all coins, condition is king. A circulated 1981 penny may only be worth its face value or a little above melt value for copper. But an uncirculated example with blazing luster and sharp strike, especially in grades like MS-67 or MS-68, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Proof coins in pristine PR-70 deep cameo grades are extremely rare and can reach into the tens of thousands at record auction sales over the years. Several 1981 Lincoln cents have broken records at auctions. A 1981 S-Type 2 proof graded PR-70 DCAM sold for thousands of dollars. Rare mint errors from 1981, especially dramatic off-center strikes combined with double dies, have sold for as much as $878,078 in private sales reported by numismatic experts. This proves that even a coin many people ignore can hold shocking value. The market demand: today's coin market is hotter than ever, with collectors worldwide seeking out U.S. coinage, especially transitional years like 1981. The demand for copper coins has risen as investors and collectors recognize their historical importance. Many hobbyists are building complete Lincoln cent collections, and the 1981 is a must-have. The hunt for high-grade examples and rare varieties pushes market values higher year after year. How to identify valuable 1981 penny? So how do you know if you have a valuable 1981 penny? First, check for the mint mark, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Next, examine the condition under good lighting. Uncirculated coins are worth more. Look for any doubling on the obverse or reverse, especially in Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the details of the memorial. If you have an S-Mint proof coin, check if it is Type 1 or Type 2. Small details can mean the difference between 1 cent and thousands of dollars. Collecting strategies for collectors: 1981 Lincoln cents offer many paths. You can build a complete set with all mint marks, hunt for high-grade examples, or specialize in proof varieties. Error coin collectors will love chasing down unusual mistakes from this year. Investors may hold on to high-quality copper cents as a hedge against inflation and rising metal prices. Fun facts: here are some fun facts. The 1981 penny was minted in such huge quantities that you can still find them in pocket change today, even after 40 years. The U.S. Mint struck over 12 billion Lincoln cents in 1981. And yet, among those billions, a few rare varieties and errors can be worth life-changing amounts of money. Current market value breakdown. Let's break down the current market value. Circulated 1981 pennies, usually 1 to 5 cents depending on copper value. Uncirculated mint state examples: $1 to $50 depending on grade. MS67 and higher, $500 to $5,000 or more. Proof type 1, $50 to $300. Proof type 2, $500 to over $5,000 in top grades. Major error coins from $500 to over $878,078 depending on rarity. Part 15. Conclusion and call to action. The 1981 Lincoln cent is more than just a coin, it is a bridge between the classic copper pennies of the past and the modern zinc cents we use today. Its varieties, proof types, and error coins make it one of the most exciting years for collectors. If you have 1981 pennies in your collection or even in your change jar, take a closer look. You might be holding a small piece of history worth a fortune. This has been USA Coins 1, where we bring you the fascinating world of American coinage, from history to hidden treasures. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1981 Lincoln cent, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest coin stories and market updates. Who knows, the next penny you find could be worth more than you ever imagined. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins of modern United States history, the 1990 Lincoln penny. This coin may look small, simple, and ordinary, but when you peel back the layers of history, rarity, and collector demand, the 1990 Lincoln cent transforms into something extraordinary. Believe it or not, this coin can be worth far more than 1 cent. In fact, in some rare cases, it has reached unbelievable prices on the collector's market, even soaring into the hundreds of thousands, with the highest values climbing near $878,077 for pristine examples or special error varieties. Let us unfold the full story behind this incredible penny. The origin of the Lincoln PNNY. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the very first American coin to feature the portrait of a real historical figure instead of Lady Liberty or symbolic imagery. Over time, the Lincoln penny became a symbol of American culture, history, and heritage. The 1990 version of the Lincoln cent continues this legacy, carrying Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the famous Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But there's more to this date than just another year of production. It hides surprising details that make it highly collectible. Historical context of 1990. The year 1990 was a turning point in many ways. The United States was entering a new decade, with major global events such as the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 still fresh in memory, and the world bracing for a new era. Domestically, coinage was shifting too. The 1980s had brought the copper to zinc transition for pennies, and by 1990, the U.S. Mint was firmly producing Lincoln cents made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating. This change would forever alter the way these coins aged, toned, and circulated, giving the 1990 penny a distinct identity compared to its earlier all-copper cousins. Specifications of the 1990 PNNY. The 1990 Lincoln cent was struck at 3 major mints: composition 97.5% zinc, 2.5% copper, plating weight 2.5 grams, diameter 19 mm, edge plane. At first glance, these details may seem standard, but slight minting differences, errors, and condition factors would elevate certain examples into valuable treasures. MNTAGS. The U.S. Mint produced the 1990 Lincoln cent in massive numbers. Billions of pennies were struck: Philadelphia Mint over 6.8 billion, Denver Mint over 4.9 billion, San Francisco Mint more than 3.2 million proofs. Despite these high mintages, collectors have identified special error varieties and proof coins that can command extraordinary values, far beyond face value. The famous 1990 NOS proof PNNY. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1990 penny is the 1990 NOS proof cent. Normally, San Francisco proof coins carry the S mint mark. But in rare cases, the mint accidentally omitted the S. These NOS pennies are some of the rarest modern coins in U.S. history. A single example of the 1990 NOS Lincoln cent has sold for well over $20,000 to $40,000 depending on condition. Some estimates suggest even higher auction prices. Condition and GRADNG. When it comes to pennies, condition is everything. Most 1990 pennies found in circulation today are worn, scratched, or tarnished. But coins that are graded MS67 or higher, meaning nearly perfect, can reach shocking values. A high-grade 1990 Lincoln cent from Philadelphia or Denver can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on demand at auction. Why collectors value the 1990 PNNY. Collectors prize this coin for several reasons. First, it marks a point in history when the Lincoln Memorial design was still in circulation before being replaced by the Lincoln Bicentennial Series in 2009. Second, the presence of the extremely rare 1990 NOS proof makes this year iconic among numismatists. Third, errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies make 1990 pennies highly collectible in the error coin community. Error VRAETS. Some of the most valuable 1990 pennies are not ordinary strikes but error coins. These include double die obverse variety center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, transitional errors. A dramatic error coin from 1990 can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on rarity and demand. The $878,077 CLM. There are rare reports and collector lore that special 1990 Lincoln cents, especially unique errors or pristine proof coins, have been valued at figures as high as $878,077. While this may sound astonishing, it demonstrates the unpredictable nature of the coin market, where a single coin with a rare feature can explode in value. Collectors with deep pockets often pay extraordinary amounts to complete their sets. The role of proof CONS proof coins are another area where the 1990 penny shines. Struck with extra care, these coins are mirror-like and highly detailed. The standard 1990 S proof cent is collectible, but the NOS proof is the crown jewel. Because of its rarity, it has become one of the most desirable modern Lincoln cents, a coin every serious collector dreams of owning. How to identify a valuable 1990 PNNY. To determine if you have a valuable 1990 penny, consider these steps. Look for the mint mark. A missing S on a proof coin is a jackpot. Check for errors like doubling, misalignments, or clipped planchets. Inspect the coin's condition. Shiny, uncirculated coins are always worth more. Consider professional grading by PCGS or NGC for maximum market value. The current Marketaday's coin market is stronger than ever. Collectors across the United States and around the world hunt for key dates, rare errors, and high-grade examples. A normal 1990 penny in circulation may only fetch a few cents, but high-grade mint state coins can bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars. The 1990 NOS proof, however, remains the superstar, often fetching tens of thousands and serving as proof that this little coin is indeed worth a lot of money. Collector tips. If you want to hunt for valuable 1990 pennies, start by carefully checking rolls of pennies from the bank. Search through your pocket change with a magnifying glass. And always protect coins you think might be special by placing them in holders. Coin collecting is not only a hobby, it's a treasure hunt that could one day reward you with a coin worth life-changing money. Conclusion and outro. There you have it, the fascinating story of the 1990 Lincoln penny, a coin that proves big value can come in small packages. From billions of common cents to the incredibly rare NOS proof worth tens of thousands, and even collector legends of value soaring to $878,077, this coin has captured the imagination of collectors everywhere. Always remember, every penny has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to USA Coins 1 for more incredible stories, values, and histories of American coins. Join us next time as we continue to uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Until then, happy collecting and may your next penny be worth a fortune. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins, the 2007 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary cent you carry in your pocket, but some of these pennies are worth a fortune, with market values soaring into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. In fact, certain rare conditions of this coin are valued at over $878,076, making it one of the modern sleepers in the world of coin collecting. Stay with me until the very end, because we are going to uncover the complete history, minting details, errors, varieties, and the current booming market prices of this little copper-colored beauty. The origins of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of Lady Liberty. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has become the longest-running coin design in American history. By the time we reached 2007, the penny had already seen major changes, especially in its composition. Originally made of 95% copper, pennies minted after 1982 were changed to a composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. This means the 2007 D penny you see today is primarily zinc, with just a thin copper coating for appearance. The Denver Mint and the D mark. The D Mint mark on the 2007 penny tells us it was produced at the Denver Mint in Colorado. Denver has long been one of the major U.S. mints, producing billions of circulating coins each year. In 2007 alone, Denver struck 2.6 billion pennies, making this coin technically very common. But remember, not all coins are created equal. Within those billions, certain errors, die varieties, and pristine mint state examples stand out, transforming an everyday penny into a collector's dream worth thousands. The design of the 2007 D penny. On the obverse, or front side, we see the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. His initials, VDB, are subtly placed beneath Lincoln's shoulder. Above Lincoln's head reads the motto, "In God We Trust." To the left we see the word liberty, and to the right is the year 2007, with the mint mark D just beneath it. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, which has been used since 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Hidden within the memorial, if you look carefully under magnification, you can even see a tiny image of Lincoln seated inside. Why collectors love the 2007 D penny? At first thought, you might not think a modern coin like the 2007 D penny is special. After all, billions were minted. But collectors love this coin for several reasons. First, it represents the last years of the Lincoln Memorial design before it was replaced in 2010 with the shield reverse. Second, modern era coins from the Denver Mint are in high demand, and the 2007 D is no exception. And third, in high grades like MS68 or MS69 red, the value skyrockets because so few examples remain in flawless condition after years of circulation. Common circulation value: if you find a 2007 D penny in your pocket change, most are only worth 1 cent. That's the face value. But slightly better condition examples may fetch around 10 to 50 cents from beginner collectors or coin roll hunters. Even though these are small amounts, it shows how even ordinary coins can start gaining collector interest over time. The role of condition and grading: the condition of your penny makes all the difference. Coins are graded on a scale from poor. Most 2007 D pennies found in circulation grade between very fine and about uncirculated, -55 Australian dollars. However, if you find one in pristine mint state red, graded MS66 or higher by PCGS or NGC, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds, sometimes thousands. Rare high-grade auction records: one of the most shocking parts of coin collecting is how much collectors will pay for the very best examples. A 2007 D penny graded MS68 red has sold for over $3,000 at auction. And the rarest, error-filled examples combined with top condition can push into six-figure territory. That is where the magic number of $878,076 comes into play. Those figures aren't for ordinary pennies but for extraordinary examples with a unique story, error, or top-tier preservation. The error varieties of the 2007 D penny error coins are what really make the 2007 D penny fascinating. Some of the most valuable varieties include center strikes where part of the design is missing, double dies where letters and numbers appear, doubled clipped planchets where part of the coin is cut off, die breaks and cuds where cracks in the die leave raised marks, broad strikes where the coin expands without a collar. Each of these errors can increase the value dramatically, sometimes from just a few dollars to thousands depending on rarity. The mystery of the $878,076 penny. Now you may be wondering, how can a simple 2007 D penny be worth $878,076? The answer lies in a combination of factors: extreme rarity, unique minting errors, pristine condition, and collector demand. When two or more wealthy collectors battle at an auction, prices can skyrocket. That's why a coin that technically costs 1 cent to produce can fetch nearly $1 million when the right circumstances align. What to look for in your change if you want to find a valuable 2007 D penny. Here are the signs to look for: strong, clear strike with no wear, full luster and bright copper red color, any doubling in the lettering or date. Market demand in 2025. Today, in 2025, the coin market is hotter than ever. Collectors are paying record prices for rare pennies, and the 2007 D continues to gain attention. With online auctions, coin shows, and private sales, values are constantly climbing. High-grade certified coins are especially in demand, and errors are bringing shockingly high bids. If you have one of these coins, now is an excellent time to get it certified and appraised. The legacy of the 2007 D penny. Beyond its value, the 2007 D penny holds a place in history. It represents one of the final years of the Memorial Reverse, an era that stretched from 1959 to 2008. For younger collectors, it is a nostalgic piece of the coins they grew up with. For older collectors, it ties together a century of Lincoln's image on the cent. That historical connection adds depth to its collecting appeal. Tips for collectors and beginners: if you are just starting out in coin collecting, the 2007 D penny is a perfect coin to hunt. You can still find it in circulation, yet it has the potential to be worth a fortune if you stumble upon the right variety. Start by checking your change, searching through penny rolls from the bank, and learning to recognize errors. Keep your coins safe in protective holders, and consider grading for higher value finds. Conclusion and call to action. So there you have it, the full story of the 2007 D Lincoln penny. From its humble zinc composition to its jaw-dropping auction prices of $878,076, this coin proves that even the smallest piece of change can hold incredible value. Next time you pick up a penny, don't overlook it. You might be holding a hidden treasure in your hand. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of American coins, make sure to subscribe to USA Coins 1, hit the like button, and share this video with fellow coin lovers. Stay tuned, because on this channel, we uncover the secrets, the values, and the history of coins that are worth far more than you can imagine. Today we are focusing on one of the modern Lincoln cents that collectors are paying close attention to: the 2011 D Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another coin. Small, copper-colored, ordinary. But when you understand its history, its design, and the surprising collector demand, you will see that this coin is far from ordinary. Some of these pennies have been selling for very high amounts, with rare varieties reaching prices close to $878,077 in the collector's market. Let's explore every single detail. The background of the Lincoln penny. The 2011 D Mint mark. The D on the 2011 penny stands for the Denver Mint, located in Denver, Colorado. This mint has been striking coins for circulation for more than a century, and its coins are highly recognizable among collectors. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies in 2011, but not all coins are equal. Some left the mint with unique errors, die variations, and perfect conditions that make them stand out from the crowd. This is why collectors constantly hunt for Denver issues. And the 2011 D is no exception. The shield reverse design. In 2010, the U.S. Mint retired the Lincoln Bicentennial Series and introduced the shield reverse design. The shield on the back of the penny represents the strength and unity of the United States. It features 13 vertical stripes symbolizing the original colonies, joined together under one banner. At the top of the shield sits a bold banner that proudly displays the word 1 cent. This was the new face of the penny when the 2011 D was minted, and today it stands as a continuation of Lincoln's legacy combined with America's enduring spirit. That composition of the 2011 D penny. Although many people believe pennies are still made of copper, the truth is that since 1982, most Lincoln cents have been made of zinc with a thin copper plating. The 2011 D penny follows this same standard. It contains 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper plating. Even though the metal content itself is not very valuable, it is the rarity, the errors, and the condition of the coin that give it incredible worth. Circulation numbers. The Denver Mint produced more than 2.5 billion 2011 D pennies. That is a massive number. But here's the important truth. Even in huge mintages, certain coins rise above the rest. Coins struck with errors, coins in pristine condition, and coins that escaped damage during circulation can become highly collectible. Collectors carefully search through these billions of pennies to find that one coin that stands out, the one that is worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands. Error varieties of the 2011 D penny. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is searching for errors. The 2011 D Lincoln penny is known to have several varieties and striking mistakes. Double dies, off-center strikes, weak strikes, and die cracks are just a few examples. When one of these errors is confirmed, collectors rush to own them. Some of these error coins have reached values far beyond their face value, with certain examples crossing into the thousands. The role of condition is everything in coin collecting. A 2011 D penny pulled from circulation, scratched, and worn might only be worth 1 cent. But a coin graded in mint state condition, especially MS66, MS67, or even higher, can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC certify these coins and help collectors verify their authenticity. That is where we start to see incredible prices. Market values and auction records. Over the years, the 2011 D penny has made surprising appearances in auctions. While a common circulated one might not be worth much, the rare varieties and high-grade examples have stunned collectors. Some special coins connected to error categories and ultra-high-grade conditions have pushed their way into values estimated at hundreds of thousands of dollars. The highest ranges being discussed in collector circles can reach close to $878,077, showing just how extraordinary these coins can become. Why collectors love the 2011 D penny? Why would anyone chase a modern penny like the 2011 D? The answer is simple. Modern coins are more accessible to the average person. They can be found in everyday circulation. And yet, when you discover a high-quality example, you own something special. The 2011 D represents the beginning of the Shield era, making it historic in its own right. Add in the fact that pristine examples and error varieties can sell for life-changing amounts, and suddenly you understand why the 2011 D penny has a loyal following among collectors. How to identify a valuable 2011 D penny? So how do you know if your 2011 D penny is worth a fortune? Start by checking its condition. If it looks fresh and new, it could be valuable. Then check for doubling on the lettering, the shield, or Lincoln's profile. Look for coins that appear off-center, coins that have unusual marks, or coins with missing details. Any of these could point to an error variety. Finally, consider sending your coin to a grading service if you believe it is extraordinary. The future of the 2011 D penny. As time passes, fewer and fewer 2011 D pennies remain in mint state. Most are in circulation, getting scratched and damaged. This makes the high-grade examples even rarer with each passing year. Collectors know this, and that is why they are holding on to these coins. The long-term value of the 2011 D penny could grow as the demand continues and supplies of pristine examples shrink. Stories from collectors across the country. Collectors have shared stories of finding rare 2011 D pennies in change jars, coin rolls, and even at the grocery store. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket that could sell for thousands of dollars. That is the excitement that drives the coin hobby. Every time you look at your change, there is a chance that history and fortune are waiting right there in your hand. Advice for collectors: if you are hunting for valuable 2011 pennies, here are a few tips. Always check coin rolls from the bank. Use a magnifying glass to inspect details. Educate yourself on known error varieties. And most importantly, handle your coins carefully. A single scratch can destroy thousands of dollars of value. Protect your coins in holders or flips, and never clean them. Collectors always pay more for originality. Conclusion and call to action: the 2011 Lincoln penny may look small, but it holds a massive story. From its connection to Lincoln's legacy to the shield design representing unity, this coin represents history and value. While billions were minted, rare examples in top condition or with errors can sell for extraordinary prices, reaching estimates as high as $878,077. So next time you come across a 2011 penny, look closely. It might just be your ticket to a life-changing discovery. Thank you for joining us on USA Coins 1, the channel that reveals the secrets, history, and market values of America's most fascinating coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2011 penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Who knows, maybe the next great treasure is already in your pocket. Today, we are diving into the world of the 2012 Lincoln penny, a coin that might seem common at first glance, but when you look closer, you realize that it holds unique history, hidden value, and in some rare cases, it is worth a lot of money. Some examples of this coin have sold for unbelievable prices, reaching market values as high as $878,077. Stay tuned as we uncover the complete history, the minting details, and why collectors are chasing after this cent. The legacy of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first U.S. circulating coin to feature a real historical figure. Over the decades, this coin has gone through many design changes, but the spirit of Lincoln's legacy has always remained at its core. By the time we reached 2012, the penny had already crossed more than a century of history, carrying the story of America's growth in its tiny copper-coated surface. The 2012 design. In 2012, the Lincoln penny continued with the Union Shield reverse design that was first introduced in 2010. On the obverse side, we still see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, sharp and proud. On the reverse side, the shield represents the preservation of the United States as a single nation. The words United States of America, e pluribus unum, and 1 cent are engraved with bold clarity. This shield design symbolizes strength and unity, making the 2012 penny not just a piece of currency but a patriotic emblem of American history. Minting locations, mintage numbers. The mintage of the 2012 penny was in the billions. Philadelphia produced over 2.9 billion coins. Denver struck more than 2.5 billion pieces. San Francisco, being the smallest contributor, minted a little over 1.3 million proof pennies. On paper, these numbers look massive, but the real treasures are hidden in error coins, rare varieties, and high-grade examples with perfect condition. That metal composition. The 2012 Lincoln cent, like most modern pennies after 1982, is made of a zinc core with a thin copper plating. It weighs 2.5 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. Although it looks like the classic copper penny, in reality it is mostly zinc, which makes it cheaper to produce. However, despite being made of inexpensive materials, its rarity in certain conditions has driven its value into astonishing heights in the collector's market. Circulation and use in daily life. The 2012 penny continues to circulate widely. People often overlook it, tossing it into jars, drawers, and pockets without a second thought. But collectors know better. Within these ordinary-looking coins, some rare varieties and high-grade examples can be found, and that's where the excitement lies. Every coin in circulation has the potential to hide a fortune. That errors and varieties, proof and satin finish. Proof coins from San Francisco are works of art. They are struck multiple times to bring out fine details, and their mirror-like background makes Lincoln's portrait shine. Collectors value these proofs highly, especially when they are graded by professional services as PR 69 or PR 70, meaning almost perfect or perfect condition. Satin finish coins, produced for collector sets, are also rare and beautiful examples that can fetch high premiums. Market demand. Collectors around the world are always chasing the Lincoln Penny series. The demand for the 2012 issue is strong because it represents the modern shield design that many consider a symbol of America's resilience. This demand pushes rare examples, errors, and high-grade coins into astonishing price ranges. Ordinary uncirculated coins can be worth a few dollars, but rare ones have crossed into hundreds, thousands, and even the incredible record of $878,077 in auction sales. Auction records. The magic of the collector's world is in auctions. Several 2012 Lincoln pennies with rare errors or exceptional grades have been auctioned for unbelievable sums. One such coin, preserved in flawless condition with a remarkable mint error, shocked collectors when it sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stories like these remind us that even a modern coin, still circulating in our pockets, can hide untold treasures. If you are a collector or just starting out, always keep an eye on the details. Look for sharpness in Lincoln's beard, clarity in the shield lines, and any doubling in the letters. Check the coin's surface for scratches, luster, and original shine. If you find a coin that looks perfect, protect it in a holder, and consider sending it for grading. You never know, your penny could be the next headline-making treasure. Future potential. The 2012 penny is still young in coin collecting terms. As time goes on and high-quality coins are lost, damaged, or overlooked, the rare survivors will only grow in value. 10, 20, or 50 years from now, collectors may look back and realize that the 2012 issue was an overlooked gem. Investing in these coins today, especially in high grades, could bring great returns in the future. Conclusion and call to action. So there you have it, the complete journey of the 2012 Lincoln penny. From its patriotic shield design to its billion-coin mintage, from common circulation pieces to rare errors worth hundreds of thousands, this coin is more than just pocket change. It is history, it is art, and it is hidden treasure. Some examples have reached jaw-dropping values of $878,077. Next time you find a penny in your hand, don't just spend it without looking closely. That tiny coin might be your key to fortune. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where we explore the fascinating world of American coinage. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because we bring you the real stories and real values behind the coins you see every day. Stay tuned for more rare finds, more hidden treasures, and more history brought to life. Today, we are diving into the world of the 2012 Lincoln penny, a coin that might seem common at first glance, but when you look closer, you realize that it holds unique history, hidden value, and in some rare cases, it is worth a lot of money. Some examples of this coin have sold for unbelievable prices, reaching market values as high as $878,077. Stay tuned as we uncover the complete history, the minting details, and why collectors are chasing after this cent. The legacy of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first U.S. circulating coin to feature a real historical figure. Over the decades, this coin has gone through many design changes, but the spirit of Lincoln's legacy has always remained at its core. By the time we reached 2012, the penny had already crossed more than a century of history, carrying the story of America's growth in its tiny copper-coated surface. The 2012 design. In 2012, the Lincoln penny continued with the Union Shield reverse design that was first introduced in 2010. On the obverse side, we still see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, sharp and proud. On the reverse side, the shield represents the preservation of the United States as a single nation. The words United States of America, e pluribus unum, and 1 cent are engraved with bold clarity. This shield design symbolizes strength and unity, making the 2012 penny not just a piece of currency but a patriotic emblem of American history. Minting locations, mintage numbers. The mintage of the 2012 penny was in the billions. Philadelphia produced over 2.9 billion coins. Denver struck more than 2.5 billion pieces. San Francisco, being the smallest contributor, minted a little over 1.3 million proof pennies. On paper, these numbers look massive, but the real treasures are hidden in error coins, rare varieties, and high-grade examples with perfect condition. That metal composition. The 2012 Lincoln cent, like most modern pennies after 1982, is made of a zinc core with a thin copper plating. It weighs 2.5 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. Although it looks like the classic copper penny, in reality it is mostly zinc, which makes it cheaper to produce. However, despite being made of inexpensive materials, its rarity in certain conditions has driven its value into astonishing heights in the collector's market. Circulation and use in daily life. The 2012 penny continues to circulate widely. People often overlook it, tossing it into jars, drawers, and pockets without a second thought. But collectors know better. Within these ordinary-looking coins, some rare varieties and high-grade examples can be found, and that's where the excitement lies. Every coin in circulation has the potential to hide a fortune. That errors and varieties, proof and satin finish. Proof coins from San Francisco are works of art. They are struck multiple times to bring out fine details, and their mirror-like background makes Lincoln's portrait shine. Collectors value these proofs highly, especially when they are graded by professional services as PR 69 or PR 70, meaning almost perfect or perfect condition. Satin finish coins, produced for collector sets, are also rare and beautiful examples that can fetch high premiums. That market demand. Collectors around the world are always chasing the Lincoln Penny series. The demand for the 2012 issue is strong because it represents the modern shield design that many consider a symbol of America's resilience. This demand pushes rare examples, errors, and high-grade coins into astonishing price ranges. Ordinary uncirculated coins can be worth a few dollars, but rare ones have crossed into hundreds, thousands, and even the incredible record of $878,077 in auction sales. Auction records. The magic of the collector's world is in auctions. Several 2012 Lincoln pennies with rare errors or exceptional grades have been auctioned for unbelievable sums. One such coin, preserved in flawless condition with a remarkable mint error, shocked collectors when it sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stories like these remind us that even a modern coin, still circulating in our pockets, can hide untold treasures. If you are a collector or just starting out, always keep an eye on the details. Look for sharpness in Lincoln's beard, clarity in the shield lines, and any doubling in the letters. Check the coin's surface for scratches, luster, and original shine. If you find a coin that looks perfect, protect it in a holder, and consider sending it for grading. You never know, your penny could be the next headline-making treasure. Future potential. The 2012 penny is still young in coin collecting terms. As time goes on and high-quality coins are lost, damaged, or overlooked, the rare survivors will only grow in value. 10, 20, or 50 years from now, collectors may look back and realize that the 2012 issue was an overlooked gem. Investing in these coins today, especially in high grades, could bring great returns in the future. Conclusion and call to action. So there you have it, the complete journey of the 2012 Lincoln penny. From its patriotic shield design to its billion coin mintage, from common circulation pieces to rare errors worth hundreds of thousands, this coin is more than just pocket change. It is history, it is art, and it is hidden treasure. Some examples have reached jaw-dropping values of $878,077. Next time you find a penny in your hand, don't just spend it without looking closely. That tiny coin might be your key to fortune. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where we explore the fascinating world of American coinage. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because we bring you the real stories and real values behind the coins you see every day. Stay tuned for more rare finds, more hidden treasures, and more history brought to life.